Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Human Colony Hucolo TV Saturday webinar. Today is April 9th, 2016. Welcome in, everybody. Today we have Sabrina here to help out. Sabrina, go ahead and do your thing.
Welcome, everybody, to our Saturday webinar. I haven't been around for a while, but I have been watching. So I did enjoy Buddha last week, talking about the third eye at David. I really enjoyed that message that he gave. So I want to say hello to everyone here and in the room with Jim. So today we have Carolina, Christine, of course Dan, Jim, Krelak, Sam, Sheer, Sharon, Will, and I will let Jim say the names of the people that are with him and welcome anyone that's new, that's watching, that's never been around. We normally do this every Saturday. It used to be Jim all the time. Now we have other channelers that come through and do channeling for us. And we're a community of people that are looking to look within, to become more of themselves, and to see who they are, who they truly are. Take it away, Jim.
Okay, there's someone just entering the room right now. So I will give you his name last because I'm not sure where he's going to sit down. But we have Angela, Sandy, John, Mark, and Raymond, and now David is the one that just came in. So good morning, everybody. It's good to be here today. Nice to see all of you here, and I would just want to ask if there's anyone in particular that you want to hear today, or give them an opportunity to speak if you believe that there is someone that needs to speak. Let me know now.
Wayne Dyer.
Wayne Dyer, who is that?
You don't know who Wayne Dyer is?
No. Oh, self-help books. Okay, I know who that is, yes.
One of the three fathers, Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob.
Oh, okay. Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob?
Yes, the three fathers.
Okay.
One of them.
Alrighty.
I second that.
Anybody else? Okay. Got that.
I request someone from the conch-shell canine race.
Conch-shell. Okay.
Jim?
Tekkrr. Yes.
Jim, have you ever had a mantis coming through?
Yes, there's been people from Atlantis that came through a while back.
Oh, no, not from mantis race.
I didn't get that.
A mantis race.
The mantis race? No,
yes.
I don't think I've had anything from the mantis race come through.
Okay. So maybe it's from mantis.
Okay. Very good, thank you.
I think Buddha didn't finish last week, so maybe if Buddha could finish what he started last week, that also would be
Buddha?
good. Yes.
He didn't finish?
I think he said he didn't have enough time,
Oh, well, he had more time than he thought after it was all said and done. But he still has to do the crown chakra, which he spoke to me about afterwards. But he's not going to do it this week, I don't think. But he might. You never know.
How about Grindal?
Grindal!
Yeah, I love the look of him.
Oh, no. You know, all you have to do is mention Grindal's name, and he will be here. So, in fact, he will jump in front of everybody else just to be here. So, I expect that he will come since you mentioned his name. So,
okay.
So, anyway, let's do can someone do a blessing to start, or would you want me to do a blessing to start? I like to start.
It.
Yes, go ahead.
English or Arcturian?
Whatever comes out.
Okay. Takariokoto nanana kariokoto skiki oli ali ali akatani okoto skara ali ali anono. Turututuru ali kiki okotono skurukoto lu ali ali akaton tokoa. Norukoto shiaki olu akati antokoru alaska. Naria kalia kotonduru ali 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 akata. Tontoro kolali akio tototu siki okotokuru akata. Tari kari antokoru kotu. Iyu lali akio tontala. Nari katayokotokotsikiaria kata.
On your world, there are many changes. The light is getting brighter and we see it more clearly. We want you to know that we are joining in and bringing the light to us and to all the galaxy and all the universe as best as we can, because we know that the light is important for your world at this time and for all times. So we love you very much. We want you to have a blessed day, and we will put our energy on all those that are present. Very well. All right, I'm going to do a little meditation, and then we'll bring in whoever comes first. I have no idea who's coming today, but we just ask that they be only good and positive entities and only ones that have the best messages. So
Yes.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
So I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, hold on. You know that I'd be first, right?
Hello, Grindal. How are you?
I'm okay, except for the freaking tail. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
We are good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, but I'm good, actually, really. Oh, yeah, there's a lot going on down here. You guys have been through a crap load of stuff recently. So everywhere I look, I see like somebody's having a emotional breakdown or something. So I came to say it's all going to be over pretty soon. Not for everybody, but for most people. Of course, some people have their own nervous breakdowns without the Earth having all the motion and movement and stuff. They just break down, period. So, but right now, things are evening out. The Earth energies are still disruptive in some places. I think the problem, this is my own thought process, but the problem is the Earth energy has been so messed up for so long, it's causing a lot of difficulties. So be assured that things are calming down. I see an end to a lot of crap, for lack of a better word. So I'm looking forward to seeing some less hysterical scenery when I come down and look. So, any questions?
Yeah, in reference to what you were just saying,
Yeah.
how is it that what's going on with the Earth affects the humans? What is the
Well, it's a
mechanics
different-
of that?
well, even though it is good energy, you're used to a different kind of energy. So when things change drastically, which they have done, you've noticed all the energies of the different full moons this year. This year, the full moons have been very, very powerful. And the solstice, the summer solstice, is going to be absolutely terrifically powerful as well, because it's just in alignment with so many different things. But yes, your bodies just can't take the change, even though it might be a good change or a positive change. Sometimes the body doesn't look at change that way because of your belief systems. See, your bodies are changing, and you go, uh-oh, I must be getting sick. And so you bring in a negative thought process on it instead of a positive process. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And so, therefore, it's like you take this positive thing and you make it a nervous Nelly thing. So, and so that puts a negative spin on it a little bit. But some of you have grasped it in the way that it should be grasped, and that's fine. But remember, a change is going to be good. This change is going to be really good. So get over yourselves.
Okay, so for those that are still going through it, what should
I'm telling you,
they're
calm
thinking?
down, take a deep breath. It's almost over. Get off the roller coaster and enjoy your life a little more, because, being nervous and being negative about these changes is not going to do any good, because they're going to happen anyway, and they're going to be positive, and you're going to find that they're going to be a great, wonderful thing for the world. Ask Mother Earth. She will tell you, but she'll giggle the whole time, so it's annoying. But I still love her.
Okay, thank you. Sheer?
Hey, Grindal, how are you?
Sheer, how are you? I'm doing very well.
Yeah, how are your sons? They have some rituals to go through.
Yeah, we did all that. Yeah, that was if you want to know, I think that some of these rituals are sort of getting a little flaky at times. So, I mean, they're good in the sense that they make aware some of the history in the past. But all this dancing and mumbo jumbo stuff, you just want to go, all right, let's cut to the chase here. So, yeah, I'm a more direct kind of person, I guess.
I see. Well, tomorrow I'm going to have a meeting with Jim, and I was wondering if you're free for like a 20 minutes talk or something like that.
Yeah, sure, I have time for you.
We have a lot to speak.
I'll look at the time and make sure that there's nothing in my way, so that's good.
No? Great. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, and say, the Panama files that were exposed, does it have something to do with disclosure or Illuminati in some sense?
What was that? I didn't get the question exactly.
The Panama files.
Oh. Remember, when they release this stuff or find it, some of this stuff has been changed. Even when they file it, they change some things before they put it in there. Why? Because they know that one day it's going to be found. And they want to look as good as possible. So, just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, where's his water?
Christine?
Greetings, Grindal. Oh.
Yeah, Christine, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Yeah, good.
Can I ask you some health questions?
Certainly. I'm big on health. That's why I drink a lot of water.
I'd like to know, I had a biopsy just recently. Can you tell me if it's benign?
One moment, please. I would have to go there and look at the sample, but I'm going to look in you to see if there's anything that you should worry about. Where was it taken from so I can go right to the place?
Right breast.
Ah, very good. Oh, let me get there. Hold on. It's hard to tell from this distance, but it does not look... Had you noticed any growth in it? I don't think so.
No.
Nope, I think it's benign. That is my... I can't really see it that closely, but I don't see that there's anything growing there, so that's a good thing.
Good. Can you tell me also why I have high blood pressure when I don't eat anything that...
It's natural physiology. Sometimes it's inherited from the lineage. Certain chemicals get off balance in the system, and therefore it causes the high blood pressure. And it's sort of natural for some people. Other people it's food related. Other people it's stress related. There's a number of different things that can cause high blood pressure. But yours isn't that high, is it? Just
according to the
high.
doctor, she believes it's high, enough to threaten me with chemicals, and I don't want to use chemicals.
I see, but it's not high. She's threatening, but she hasn't used them yet. Okay. We'll have to talk about that some other time. I could go into a 20-minute speech about that. But don't worry about it. There are other ways.
Good. And my last question. Are my chakras clear?
Actually, all but the heart chakra. And actually, the root chakra needs cleared a little too.
Okay.
The heart chakra needs a little clearing.
Okay.
That's from work-related incidences.
I work with animals, yes.
Yes. And other than that, you're pretty good.
Thank you.
Alrighty then.
Grindal?
Thank you. Yeah.
Lainey has a question. She said if you have anything to say about the presidency over here, the election.
Oh, don't get me started on that. They're all buffoons. But there's some less buffoony than others. But they're all, well, I can't say they're not qualified. Some of them are not. But some of them are qualified. But their thought processes are like so far removed from one another. It's like, oh my God, they should get together and have a little caucus and get all their crap on the same page. Gee. But yeah, I have a little optimism for your choices.
But do you think it has been set up by the universe?
It's a time for change, and this will definitely do it. You have 4 unusual people. 4 people that if any of them get elected, the chances of them being assassinated are very high. And that's sad. That's very sad. But think about it. They would assassinate a woman because they're prejudiced. They would assassinate a Jewish person because they're prejudiced. They would assassinate a buffoon because they're prejudiced. And they would assassinate somebody that preaches like Jimmy Swaggart because they're president. Yeah, well, that's all I have to say about that. You make your own choices. Ow.
Yes. Okay. I guess no predictions.
Are you kidding me? It's like predicting tornadoes in the South.
Okay. Does anyone in the room with Jim have a question?
Yeah, there is.
Are you talking about the event horizon?
Come over closer. I don't think they can hear you.
Are you talking about the event horizon?
Only partially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christine is... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christine said, so do we need to worry about the vice presidents?
No. Not really. Who's going to be looking at the vice president once you get one of those buffoons in there?
Okay. On the lighter note, why don't you tell us what you've been up to? We haven't spoken to you in a long time.
I did rituals with my family just recently, and that was what I've been doing. We've been going through the adolescence in the reptilian world is a very big thing when you become a man or a woman, as you would call it, in our species. Then you go through a very long ritual that lasts several weeks, and you bring the understanding of many different things. This is when we have the talk. This is when we have the singularity with the parents. You spend days with your mother, you spend days with your father, you spend time with your grandparents, you spend some time learning from your godparents. Every reptilian has someone assigned to give information about the family after this period of time, and they're selected at birth. And so when this time comes, if they're still alive, they give a talk about family values and what the family history is. Because if it comes from outside the family, there's a different perspective. Do you understand? It might be a little colored, or with a family member telling the history, it might be a little slanted. But when you see it from somebody else's eyes that is not part of the family, then it's all pretty much true to life. So there's many things that happen during this 2 to 3 week period of time, depending on how long certain things last. But it's planned out for 2 weeks and 2 days in your time period. But that was the thing that was happening with me.
Very nice. That sounds you're actually paying attention to what's going on with the children.
You have to, because you learn a lot during that 2 weeks, believe me. Of course, our weeks are different than yours, but still. You learn a lot because your kids have to be close, you know? And so after a while, you start hearing things that they're saying that perhaps you weren't thinking that you would hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that experience
Any more
recently.
questions? What?
Yes, there was one. Sheer asked, "What about Bernie Sanders? What is your opinion of him?"
I already said that I think that there's some things that I shouldn't say. I don't hate any of the candidates, let's put it that way. But I don't support any of them either. But thank God I'm not voting. Yeah.
Okay. Dan
I
has a
really
question.
can't tell you what I think of him because
Oh.
it would be prejudice. It would prejudice some thought processes, and I would rather keep my opinions of each one, my expressed deep opinions of each one, separate, so that no one is affected. They just warned me about that. They said, "Oh, don't go in there and say what you said to us, because that's not healthy." But I don't think he's a bad man. I will say that. Everyone has their best intentions except for one. One has an alternate agenda that has not been exposed, but that's all right. Things will happen as they happen. Is there any more questions?
Hello, Grindal. How are you?
Hello.
This is Dan. I have a question. Last week it was explained to us that many of us became ill because we lost our ground to Gaia, and that energy would be working out. But many people are still complaining about this kind of respiratory and breathing issues and stuff.
Yeah.
Will this energy be straightening out for them soon? Is there any wisdom that you can impart on us to help comfort everybody?
Yeah, like I said, it's almost done. Hang in there. Get a more positive attitude right now. I know it's hard because when you're sick, positivity is out the window. But if you would bring in some positivity, these things would get going pretty fast. And the Earth energies are about done. By the middle of June, they'll be completely done. So you just have these last couple little month and a half, whatever, 2 months to work with. So you've already been going through it long enough. But it's very much more calm than it was. So it's a lot calmer, a lot.
So everybody just needs to be patient with their illness. It's not their fault. It's not something they've done. It's
gonna clear out.
It's just a planetary adjustment, and we're adjusting to it. That's all
it's everywhere. Yes,
it's everywhere. All right, thank you, Grindal.
It'll be fine.
Okay, Grindal, I believe no one else has a question at the
All
moment.
right, then I can get out of here and have a wonderful day, everybody.
You too, and thank you for coming. We love you. We
Oh,
miss
yeah,
you.
yeah. You couldn't stop me. Nah. Nah. Oh, I'm gonna stay. Yeah. All right. Oh. All right. I'll bring somebody else. There's a bunch out there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day. Ouch. Damn. 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗃𝗧𝗏. Mm. 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 Ah. The world is a very different place than it used to.
Welcome.
Things were very tribal when I was around. Families were important. It does not seem to be that important anymore. Not as they were back then. But of course, families can get very sidetracked.
Who are
I'm
we
here to
speaking
tell
to?
you about family values and how that they are very important, especially in this day and age. And I know that some of you have family members that are estranged and not part of your understanding anymore. They have taken a different turn or a different thought process that does not seem to jive or connect with yours. Was there a question already?
Yes, if you would tell us your name, that would be good. Thank you.
My name is Abraham.
Welcome, Abraham.
Thank you. You know
And
who I am. And you've read about me. Many of the
yes,
things that you read are not quite true. Things have been embellished over time, but I did exist. And I was a good leader. I don't know if I was a great leader, but I was a good leader. And family values were very important to me. And I had many children and many grandchildren. And it was important to me that they were all taken care of, although just like in these days and times, some of my children were strange to me because they did not like the strictness of the law that I was following, the law of God. Now, in this day and age, laws are not so much for spirituality as they are for keeping people in line who do not have spirituality. And that is exactly what laws are for, to keep those that do not have an idea or grasp on who God is in line with the earth energies and with the earth people and things of that nature. Are there any other questions? I know that I could go on about the family, but I feel that there are many who want to speak.
well,
Greetings, Abraham. Much love.
Hello. Much love.
I don't know where to start. There are so many questions. Can you give some advice on the split that occurred that caused, I don't want to say that it caused Islam, but Islam and Judaism both started with you.
Yes.
So I guess, can you talk about your two sons?
I can tell you that there was hypocrisy. Many splits and divisions come with selfishness, come with their own desire for power and greed. And therefore, the division between my sons was due to the fact that they knew their inheritance, and yet they wanted more. That happens much in this day and age that you live in as well. But the division was also in creating a belief system that they could live in and not feel guilty about. Does this make sense to you? Many people create a spiritual reality that they can live in, which is fine if it is directly connected to God. But many times it's more directed to what they want than to God. And this was the fault of my children. This was the fault of many people. This is the fault of religion in general. They want what they want, and so they manipulate the people to push them into the direction that they would have them to go, because it is more in line with their thought process and their ability to control the group than it is with sharing God's purity and love. They lose sight of it when problems emerge, which all humans will give you problems. And so instead of saying, let's deal with this the way God would deal with it and try to do it the right way, they make up a rule or bring themselves to a place where they have to speak in a way that is manipulative to keep these people in line. Because just speaking the truth does not seem strong enough or powerful enough, or giving them the connection to God that they should have is not, they don't know how to do it, because they have not yet connected fully with God themselves. And so how can they help someone connect with God purely if they are not purely connected themselves? Does this answer at least part of your question?
Yes. Yes. And I'm sorry, I can't articulate at this point. But yes, I get how that the love of God, which is the law, which is the basis of all the law, is important in every situation where people need to, where when people interact with each other, it's that love that is not present sometimes.
That is correct. They do not keep themselves close in the purity of the relationship. They keep themselves close only in their own wishes and desires. They do not wish for their children to do certain things. They wish them to do what they want them to do. However, each individual must see their child as unique, and that they should be doing what God wants them to do and not what they want them to do. How God wants them to act and not how they want them to act. Society has made rules and regulations for how people should be and how people should interact. But that is not the way of God. God is into the individual as his true self is within them, and his true aspect of them is to come out. And sometimes that is not what society wants to see or hear. Do you understand?
Absolutely. So I'm going to pass the mic.
And it is the same with you. God has a plan for you that is unique, and you will not fit into the society the way that many people do. And some will look down on that because they look at society as the ruling class. No matter what your peers may say, they are colored by society in general. And you must not be, and none of you must be, because you are to change what society is. You are to be the family of which I speak of. Your children, your family, is the love and embracing of all the things that were taught to them by mother and father. If you are the mother and father, keep your children close and know what they are doing, and do not be afraid to speak to them, even if they don't want to speak to you, because children think they know everything at one point. But you know what? You can calmly and rationally keep them near you by speaking to them in a way that is equal. When they reach a certain point in their life, they wanted to be treated equal. Now, you can sit down and tell them that once they act like they're being equal, then they can be treated equal. But you can treat them equal in their inequality because you love them. And you can say to them, I look at you in love. I look at you not in your actions. I look at you in my flesh as my flesh and spirit as my spirit, and know that you are unique and I love you. No matter what these things that you are doing now, I will always love you and not turn you away. This will sink in. This will bring them back. Even if they move out from you for a short while, they will realize that you look at them with respect and honor. And they must look back with respect and honor at some point. And if they do not, then they have taken in a negative entity. Now, some of you have dealt with that. And that is not a good thing. It is not a fun thing. It is not a thing to be looked at lightly. But it is something that you must be aware of, and you will be aware of it if you are looking properly with the love of God onto your family.
Hello, Abraham. This is Sabrina again. On the subject that you're speaking of, how, because it's difficult sometimes to know where you're being overprotective and telling your children, basically wanting them to live a life that you want, and
I understand.
and allowing them to follow whatever their path is.
Listen to me carefully. If your children had problems that you didn't really want to know about, would you have them tell you?
Yes.
Of course you would. And so therefore, it is just respectful that you would tell them your problems as well if it affects them. It is respect. It is not that you're trying to hurt them. It's not that you're trying to manipulate them, but you are respecting their intelligence. You're respecting their place in the family and letting them know some things that are happening. Now, there are private things that you should not share, but the general knowledge of the situation, if it is affecting the children, they should know, should they not? It is just like if someone is adopted. How should they find out that they are adopted? Should they find out through the grapevine by accidentally finding their birth certificate? No. You should tell them when they're old enough to understand. This is respect, and this is love, and this is strength. Because when you are strong enough to let your children know exactly what is happening and respect them enough to understand, they may go through a small period of rebellion or hurt or disappointment or embarrassment, but the very fact that you let them know will give you respect. They will come back and say, she treated us equally. She treated us the way she should have. Because to keep it from them is actually a lie. To pretend like there is nothing wrong is not the truth. To share the truth is to share your strength. And to give them strength as well. Because you are there to support them even with this negative information. You are the support system. You understand that? And they will come to you instead of turning away from you, saying, she's not, or he's not, or they are not telling the truth. And I know it. They can sense it. It comes out in actions by others and by yourself, and actions with those around you that do know the truth. They cannot help but see the truth of these actions. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Now love them. And you do protect them. There is protection in the warmth of the mother's love, in the very fact that they can openly come to you if they know that they can. You are a great and bright light in every child's life. Their parents are a bright light until they put it out. And some parents have done that. They've extinguished their own light from their child's eyes because what? They do not speak, they do not act, they are not involved, they do not respect the boundaries of the child or the boundaries of parenthood. But that is a secret some parents cannot know. Because why? They were not given it from their parents. You see, parenthood wisdom sometimes comes from the generation before, or the generation before. But if it's not coming from the generation before, then you must be the beginning generation that shows respect, love, honor, and inclusion to your children. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Much love.
Much
You
love.
are the wisdom of parenthood is that you include your children, even if it is from a distance. You let them know that they are included. Does anyone have any other questions?
Yes. Shalom, Avraham. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well.
I'm Shir, and I have plenty of questions for you. First of all, it's an honor to speak with you.
It's an honor to speak with you as well, because we are all equals together.
Yes. My first question is about 𝗂𝐻𝐻𝐷𝗥. It's a very harsh story that I don't know if there's any real truth to that, but it's when you took Isaac to the mountain and God ordered you to kill him and stop you in the last second. Can you be more clear about it? Because many people are confused about that story.
Yes, I can explain it completely and very positively.
Oh.
When God spoke to me about that particular situation, He gave reasons. But first of all, I want to say this. The connection from God to myself was pure. I saw that no matter what He told me, it was the truth. I saw that no matter what I did, God would be there with me. And so I trusted God. And I took Isaac to the mountain. Now, at first, when I took Isaac to the mountain, I did not know that he was going to say to kill him. First, he told me, which is not written probably, that we were going on an outing together to share some wisdom and pray to God together and have some community with God. Once we were there, God said, your child cannot be effective. And I was wondering what he meant by that. He said, your child cannot be effective right now. He must leave and be in spirit. Now, that was not the truth. Why would God say something of this nature to me? Only because there was something in my life that was also untrue. Our connection had been sullied somehow. And so he wanted to show the purity of his love. And so I went forth, and I did as he said. And before that moment, with great tears and sorrow, I was sobbing. I was brought to my complete surrender to God, a complete and total surrender to God. And he stopped me. Stopped me. And do you know what? My son understood. He saw the God influence in my life. And he saw that this was actually not a lesson for me, but for him. That my love of God was so strong that I would sacrifice him. But then when I freed him, he said to me, many things are not recorded, but he said to me, I saw the love of God, and I knew that I was safe. He knew that he was safe. He said, even if I were to die, I knew that I was safe. And this was the lesson that God gave to him. And he gave me so much in that moment. He gave me all my life that I had lived back into a pure state. But I still questioned. Why did you not tell me the truth? And he said, I did tell you the truth. Because without that lesson, your son would not have gone on to be who he was. That lesson needed to be learned, needed to be seen, and needed to be experienced. So it was not a lie. It was the truth at that moment. Do you understand?
Yes. That is much more positive story than what it's been told. And
exactly.
Yes. I'm very happy about that. And well, I have so many questions for you, but the second one would be the Brit Ben Aptarim. It's when God told you to take separate parts of meat and spread it across 2 rows and walk in the middle, if I remember correctly. And he said that that will be the ritual that will bound the Israelis or humankind with him and with you. Can you tell me something about that story? Because even that story is like not really understood. Do you know what I'm speaking about?
That particular story has been changed many times throughout history because many did not understand it. It was not like that at all. What was happening was the sacrifices at the time. As you remember, we would sacrifice a lamb or a ram or a beast of the field, sometimes even a bull or whatever we felt that was necessary to cleanse. You see, it was a prophecy of the coming of Christ that blood would be shed, correct?
Yeah, I
you
think
may
so.
not know
It's a
that,
different
being
book.
that you are Jewish. But it was a prophecy of the coming of Christ, that he would shed blood. And only blood was that purified the soul. Why is that? Because it was the life giver of the body. Therefore, these different stories were to predict or prophesy of the coming of Christ who gave his life. But There are many inconsistencies also with that story. I could go on and on. However, what was meant to be said in that story is that the animal was slain and the parts of the body taken out. And the reason why is so that people could understand that they are not just made of one thing, one particular part, one particular thought process, uh, one particular bladder or heart or liver, but that all parts come together to make the whole. Now, this was the beginning of the process of describing what the church should be, if there was to be a church. It is that all come together and be helping one another to make a body. Now, the idea of a church is sullied by the fact that there was bureaucracy, corruption, greed, and all these things. And so it is not necessary in your day and age to actually be part of this because you have evolved from that thought process into a purity of spirit. You understand?
Yes.
So, but therefore in that time, to keep the people unified, we had to teach the lesson that all parts of the body were made to be in one, and that would be in God. And now, the purity of God, connection to God here to here, is pure. It cannot be explained or could not be fully handled by the thought processes of people from that day and age. And as you evolved as a species, as humans we evolved, our thoughts changed throughout different eras and generations, until now we are in a place where we can speak about the spirit in a more pure way.
I see. And one last question. It's about a structure called Mecca, the most holiest place for Muslims. From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, it was built by you and Ishmael.
Yes, we had some hand in it, yes.
Can you explain what it is? Because no one don't really know what it is.
It is the place where we first saw the spirit. And now we are to understand that what we saw was perhaps not the spirit, but of those from another world that were coming to speak to us and understand, but it became a very holy place for many, many people. Even as religions broke off, this place was empowered from the energy that was left behind by these beings. But now we know that God had his hand in that as well.
Thank you. Much, much love to you. הרבה הרבה אהבה אליך, אברהם.
Much love.
Hello, Abraham. I have a few questions here. One is, what led you to Israel?
What led me to Israel?
Yeah.
The spirit of truth.
Okay.
I knew that I had to go. God had set in my heart a mission, a place, the place that we were, with the peoples and the tribes that I had around me, was no longer sufficient for life in general. There was not enough vegetation, there was not enough farming, there was not enough animals, there was not enough water anymore. And so a move was necessary, and this was the place that we were sent.
Okay, thank you. The next question was, what are some of the lessons you learned about God and mortality during that lifetime?
So many I cannot count them. I was to be a spiritual leader and see many things that not many could see, and lead the people that would follow me because they saw that God was with me. But it was not that I was a very arrogant man. I was not arrogant, and I tried to give my people everything of prosperity that they could possibly want, and God helped me with that. I loved the people. I loved the land. I loved all things of nature and of God. And therefore, when I moved in the Spirit of God. And I cannot explain how He moves different people to do different things. But He does come to you and speak to you in a practical way. He spoke to me in a practical way about the needs of the people. There were not enough food, not enough water, not enough land. The tribes were getting bigger, and so we had to move. So all I can say is God speaks to each of us in a practical way. When we know that things cannot go on the way they are, then they are to be changed. And this is the practicality of God, the love of God, and His bounty to show us what He wants.
Okay, on that note, I don't know if you can comment about this, but what do you think we need? What would it take for us to unite the Middle East?
Honesty. They delude themselves and they lie to themselves about what God wants and how God sees different things. If they were to actually connect with God in His pure spirit and be true about what is wanted is all of them to come together, not fight each other, not be the greatest among them, not to be greedy and prosperous, but to be broken, and then they may see the true light. Because sometimes in your brokenness, you turn to God in a way that is not like any other time. And they need to humble themselves, none of which of these tribes have done. Do you see any humility? I do not. I see boasting, and I see greed, and I see, I want that. This is our land, we must have it. Land means nothing when it comes to the Spirit. Land means nothing. Wealth means nothing. The things they put their values on mean nothing when it comes to the Spirit of God. Because why? If you were to give yourself over, prosperity would be yours. The land would be yours. Whatever you want would be yours, as long as you're in the purity of the Spirit. But yet some choose the purity of the Spirit, but to be low and humble. And that is fine. But the truth of the matter is, all the desires of your heart can be met with God. And if you desire nothing, that can be met by God as well.
So how did you distinguish between being humble and letting people step all over you?
There is a big difference. Humility is not boasting. Humility is keeping who you are in a wonderful and loving space. People that tramp on you are not tramping on humility. They're tramping on weakness in the sense that you are letting them do what they want. Now, when you are humble, you do not boast or you do not push your opinion on anyone else, and you bring yourself into a sense of love and unity. But if someone pushes you, you see, the outside world pushes on each individual, do they not? You do not have to accept that. Accepting that is not any part of humility. You must stand up and say, you are wrong. I'm sorry, this is the way I believe. And if you cannot respect that, then you have to move out here. But you cannot accept being pushed around. That is not part of humility. Humility and what that is are something totally different. Humility is a state of mind where you give thanks to God and are not bragging and boasting and pushing yourself to be arrogant or these things of this nature. But being stepped on is a matter of intrusion. It is not meant for you to be intruded upon. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Because sometimes as
I wish
human
I could
beings,
speak it in better words, but that's the best I can do at this time.
yeah, because sometimes as human beings, we think we're being humble, but we're allowing others to step on us.
There is an inner strength that comes with the Spirit of God, and He will not tolerate your degradation or your being put down. So if you call on Him, He will give you the strength to rise above that. Even if it means that you are tortured, you must stand up for what you believe. That is not any part of humility, but it is part of your strength in God.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I think that will help a lot of people.
Thank you.
Sarah?
Hello, Abraham.
Hello.
Much love to you.
Much love.
My question is, were Sarah and Hagar the same woman?
No.
No.
Hagar was a mistress. Sarah was my wife.
Okay. So I'm still trying to understand how is it that I was given both names, and what's my role in that?
You were given both names because you were given my seed, both of you. And you are both from my lineage, and you have come together at this point. It is very possible. And if you are Hagar and Sarah at once, then you will know the beauty of childbirth at some point, and it will be that your child is worthy of gifts.
Okay. I've been trying to reconcile that all my life.
Do not worry. It is not something for you to worry about. It is the way of the universe to speak to you in a very gentle and beautiful feminine way that you are beloved.
Because the Bible said they hated each other. Is that true?
Not anymore. Once they go to the Oversoul, love is the only thing that will conquer.
But in
Love
your time,
conquers
did they
it
hate
all.
each other?
But in their, I do not say that they hated. Well, Hagar definitely had stronger feelings than Sarah, because Hagar was jealous of the position of Sarah. You understand that? And was eventually turned out. But Sarah was not happy with the attitude of Hagar, and so she was disgruntled. She did not hate Hagar, but she did feel that she was being persecuted by Hagar because of her attitude. So now, when it all comes out, Hagar was turned away because she could not get along with Sarah, and she could not abide by the proper thought processes that God had intended.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
You are beloved, and now Hagar and Sarah are showing you that they no longer hate each other, but they love each other and understand each other's positions at this time. And Hagar is equal to Sarah, and Sarah is equal to Hagar, and their children are both beautiful.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the mic.
Christine?
Greetings, Abraham.
Greetings.
I was wondering, for some reason this is bringing out my wound of the feminine. Were
Yes.
women that disrespected in your particular religion or following of God?
It was sad at the time that women were looked at as lesser beings. But as understood now, they are equal in every way, shape, and form. But the men had to take charge because they did the hunting and the bringing in of the food to the family. And that is why woman took the second place, is because man was actually the feeder of the tribe. And so in their arrogance, and it was their arrogance,
It is.
men took the leading role over the women and felt pride for what they had done, where they should have felt that they were doing the right thing. That is what they should have felt, that they were doing right by feeding their family, not that they were better than their family. But this was an attitude taken on by men for centuries. But God deals with each on his own. And when they reach the Oversoul, do you realize that now in this day and age that you live in, women are looked at more equally than they ever have been before? And this is due to the evolution of thought. This is due to the understanding of what women and men do and how equal they are. The very fact that women can bear children should make them greater, don't you think? They have the greater of the creative capacities. But now things are looking differently. You could look at women as greater. You can bring out women's attributes as being greater than men's. And you can look at men's attributes and bring them out as being greater than women's. But to be honest, they are equal in every way.
Thank you. I feel better that way.
Much love to you.
Love to you.
Does anyone in the room with Jim have any questions?
No. Very well. Perhaps it's time I should go.
There is one more question, Abraham, from Jasmina, and she would like to know if you have any messages for her.
The messages for her is that God's purity and love is coming to her. Accept it. Open up to it. Feel the purity of it. There are times when she feels that there's no one around and there's much loneliness, but God wants her to feel a greater sense of community with Him and with the spirits that are around her, which are many.
Okay, is there anything she could do to do that and to overcome that feeling?
Actually, she already knows that meditation and prayer and there are a couple other things she does that very much help. The meditation portion, just relax into it a little more. Don't try so hard. but relax into your meditation. If you do not feel or sense anything, that is not a problem, because God is in every inch, every molecule of the universe. And so if you are in silence with God, He is speaking to you in some way, in your subconscious, in your body, in your very existence, in your soul.
Okay, thank you, Abraham, and thank you for answering our questions, for being here.
It was necessary I be here. Remember about your families, and keep them close, and love them no matter, even if you do not like their personalities, you can love their souls, because their soul is part of God. Do you understand that? Look in and see the soul. See the God in them, and treat them as that God spirit would be treated. If you do not treat each individual as a spiritual person, then you are missing part of your connection with humanity.
Okay, thank you. Could you do a prayer before you go?
Yes. It might be a little old school for some of you.
It's okay.
Mighty God, Father of all things, maker of the universe, and creator of the unity, love, and source of all our existences. Watch over us and guide our paths. Make sure that we are looking for the right things to do. I know that many times our thought processes have to be in the world and have to be geared to the things of survival and the things that make us who we are as a person individually. But bring out the perfection that is us in you, because you have your unique way with us. I love you truly, and thank you for the lessons that might be hard and might seem like you are being dishonest with us, but there is a reason for all things. When I took my son to the mountain, and when I thought that you had not told me the truth afterwards, and you explained yourself, I was full of love and joy and understanding. I pray that all these that come to you will feel the same. Give your honor to each of them. Bring out their wisdom, which is inherent within each of them. Bring out your beauty and originality, which is inherent within each of them. Love and guidance and beauty. I just pray that this era in your world becomes an era of remembrance for the beauty that it signifies and it creates, and will be the beginning of a great era of peace, love, and understanding. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for those beautiful words. I am Tekkrr. I have just come to answer any questions you may have at this time about the colonies, or about anything that is on your mind. Many have expressed different things to me during the week. I hear many thoughts, and many people express themselves. This would be a good time for you to come and ask your questions. Welcome, Tekkrr.
Thank you. It is good to be with you.
It's good to be with you. Dan has a few questions.
Yes.
Hello, Tekkrr. I've got to locate the question because one was from Bill.
Yes.
He wants to know if his infusion happened, and he wants to thank you for the knee repair, and he would also like to ask for help with his mother. His mother fell down, broke her hip, and could use some good healing assistance. But he's curious about the infusion and the knee, and thanking for the knee.
Is his knee feeling much better now?
Yeah, he said he had no pain yesterday. Yeah.
The infusion will be starting. I do not know when it was supposed to start. I believe it is going to start in a couple days. The infusion is not yet.
Okay. All right. I will let him know.
But the knee repair happened during the evening, yes.
Okay. All right. That's all I have for this moment. And now let Sabrina jump in here real quick.
I have a question in the room.
There is a question within the room. One moment. Come to the microphone.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sandy, and I've been recently listening to Corey Good, David Wilcock. Corey's explaining about an artificial intelligence that has it's been around for centuries from another universe. Is that all true, that they are coming in, they are in our universe and taking over on some bodies and technologies?
Yes, let me explain.
Okay.
I do know who Corey Good is. Okay. The AI, the artificial intelligence that is in our universe, but not really that close to this galaxy as yet. But they are not a caring species, and they do not understand emotion. But it would appear that within the next 100 years, before they even get to our galaxy, they are going to become sentient. They're going to start feeling and understanding emotions. And because they are already studying emotions and they are putting them into their thought processes, they do not feel them as of yet. They do know about what they are supposed to feel like, if you know what I mean. It has been explained to them what emotions are and what they can feel like, but they are not yet experiencing it. And yet they are working on technology that will help them to experience this. And once this comes about, there will be a change in their activity.
Are they currently on Earth, though? I mean, are they currently in some beings on Earth?
Not that I am aware of. I hear that they have sent some to Earth, but we have not been able to track that down. It may be true, but I am not sure. Okay. But we do not know, because they have taken on human form and taken on quite a bit of biological surface. They cannot be seen as perhaps maybe only a slight blip now and then. But if it's true that they are on Earth, they have come through wormholes and dimensional shifts.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Anyone else in the room with Jim?
It does not appear that anyone here is asking questions, but I would like to make a small report before answering any other questions. We are bringing people back to the colonies very shortly, and many of you have requested to come to the colonies, and things have been repaired and things are looking very good at this time. So we will be bringing you back very, very shortly. A date has not been set. They did set one date, but it has been pushed back due to a problem with transmissions with colony 3 and 4. a couple of the ships are out of communication with one another, and until that is fixed, there will be no transports. Is there any other questions at this time?
Yes, Krelak had a question.
Yes.
Yes, hello to Tekkrr.
Hello, Krelak. How are you?
I'm fine. I have 3 questions. My first one is, you mentioned before of there being an insectoid-like liquid that is in some humans that's preventing them from remembering.
Are you talking about the artificial intelligence? You broke up a little bit.
No, you mentioned before about an insectoid liquid that is in some humans that is preventing them from remembering.
Yes, that stops the holographic from attaching to the biologic. Yes, we have a 10 infusion program that can relieve about 99% of the insectoid compound. We are preferring not to use it. It's very time consuming. It's 1 infusion every so many days, and it takes a very long time. So at this point, we're more hoping that the governments would give in to site to site than the holographic. So we are making some headway with them. They do want the medical transport. That is the first thing that they're really looking at, because many of them have things that they want us to work on. But if they do not agree to do it for the whole planet, then we cannot do it just for them.
Okay. My second question is if there's any information that is for me today.
1 moment, please. There's many communications from the canine world, but we will speak of that at another time. It will not benefit the group.
Okay, and my last question is, how do Lyrans flirt with each other? When they become mates, how does it become official? Like here on Earth, we have a thing called weddings. How do Lyran mates become official?
There is a ceremony as well. It is not similar to any of your weddings. There is a lot of ritual involved in it, and a lot of movement, because cats are very agile, so there is a lot of movement, a lot of circling each other, and a lot of movement within the group that is very symbolic of the union.
So it's like a dancing.
It is a dance, it is a ritual, it is a interaction. It's many things, yes. And there is languages. There's the ancient language that is used, and there is the modern language that is used, because it ties them both together in the different worlds that we are living in. As time went on with the ritual of union, some things did change, as always. Changes always occur, and it has become now a very beautiful ritual. There are traditional words that are said. There are traditional actions that must be made, or not must be, but are happy to be made. And we enjoy it very much. Now, there are many that do not go through this union that are living together, and that is seen as union as well, because you do not have to take on the rituals of the old world to become united. So,
thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Sam?
Hello, Sam.
Tekkrr.
Hello.
I got a question about infusion. Has that been done or has it been activated?
In your body?
Yes.
Yes, you have gone through one infusion.
Okay. And another question is, in my meditation, I saw a jaguar that came by, like a vision, but I don't know who it is. Could you tell me more about that?
You saw a what? A jaguar?
Yes, like a face of a jaguar.
Ah. Well, actually, that would probably be a Lyran face. It's similar to a jaguar. It's not similar to a lion, a cat face. Yes, we have many different races on our planet as well. So I would say it was probably a Lyran. I'm not sure who yet, but I could get that information for you.
Okay, thank you. Pass on the mic.
Sharon?
Yes, thank you. Hello, Tekkrr.
Hello, Sharon. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
I have a question for my mother. She's sitting here with me, and she asks how she can get rid of the negative emotion she's feeling right now. She's trying to get out of it, and she can't.
We will help her with that. Yes. I understand that there is a reason for these negative emotions. Is that correct? Yes. And then we will be able to. It is often with humans that negative emotions, it's hard to rid yourself of them because it is a personal thing. It becomes part of your person. It was an insult or it was an injury to the person in general. Is that correct?
Yes, you are correct.
And so therefore, it needs a personal touch to get rid of the negativity as well. It must be healed in the sense of emotional healing. I will come to her and help her with that.
Perfect. And I have one more. My friend Derek, he asked me, he said he's going through a bit of a crisis and he feels like everything's kind of flip-flopped. And he would just like to hear an encouraging word.
His life will be fine. The energies of the earth have affected him somewhat, but not like others, because he is resilient. They have affected his emotions more than his health. But right now, I see that there is something coming to him. There's a change that he has just been through. But this change will bring about some joy in the future.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I so appreciate your visits.
I love you much.
Okay, Tekkrr, I have a few questions from Slava.
Slava, how are you? Your daughter Anna is doing very well. She is with you a lot. I know that you feel her around you.
He's also asking about his daughter Leia.
Yes, and Leia is growing strong, very intelligent as well, creative. She will be, you have visited her a couple times recently. Continue.
He said if you could say anything about her abilities.
Did I not tell him about her abilities before?
I am not sure.
But she is very creative. She is mathematical. She's very in tune with math and algorithms and making things happen with the algorithms that she's creating. She's actually not creating them, but she is learning them in the sense that they can be creative. Does that make sense?
Yes. He also said that he had a dream with his son Aloja.
Yes.
And I remember his visit several years ago. I would love to visit him, but I'm not sure if I'm able to visit him in the astral form.
You can visit him in the astral form, and we will help you with that. He is at a great distance at this time. He has moved to a farther distance away from you. However, this does not mean that you cannot communicate. You still can. And I will help you with that. Your astral projection will reach him. We will make sure of it.
Okay, because he said he was asking if he's still in Sirius.
No, he has gone off of Sirius to a place beyond that.
Okay. Now, Laini wanted to say something to you?
Yes, Laini.
Hello. I just wanted to send my love.
I love you too, Laini.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen you for a while. I'm not sure.
You haven't seen me for a while because people have not been on the ship for a while. But you will be coming very shortly to the colonies.
Okay. Actually, I just got one question about the Britain being part of the EU. Because it looks like we're quite likely to come out of it when we have this referendum. Would that actually, if we do come out of it, would that actually start a chain reaction and other European countries come out of it as well?
It will give them thought about it. I do not say it a chain reaction. There are many people that have many decisions to make about it. There are things, as you know, that are plus and minus. For your country, it was more plus.
Yeah.
But for some countries, it is not. So therefore, there will be some thoughts about it. It may be, they may have to adjust it for some countries.
Right. Okay. That could make sense. Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Very good.
Carolina?
Hello, Tekkrr. Much love.
Much love to you as well, Caroline.
Tekkrr, I just wanted to ask you about my Yahyel son, Pleiadian.
Yes.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, did you say he's very well?
Yes, he's doing very well. He's very fine. He's very strong. He's getting his strength is greater than we expected, and his size is also greater than we expected. But he's doing very well, and he's a very wonderful and friendly person as well. He reminds me of your son in some way. Yeah.
Oh, yes, good. What does he look like?
Beautiful. He has actually very human features at this point. Before, his features were not as human, but now they are becoming a little more human. So it is. I will let you know that once I see him again, but I haven't seen him for a little while. But I am told that he's becoming more human-looking.
Oh, wonderful. Did you get the message about his name? I added to Pleiadian, and it's 𝗂𝗚𝗏, 𝗂𝗚𝗏, which means light of divinity.
Oh, beautiful. 𝗂𝗚𝗏? 𝗂𝗚𝗏?
Yeah, Pleiadian 𝗂𝗚𝗏.
What was the first part?
Pleiadian, the name you gave me before.
Oh, yes. And 𝗂𝗏. Yes, very well.
Yeah. And I would like to say that I would like to visit him and my two girls in the astral as well.
Very well.
Thank you.
It's hard to understand you, or you're a little muffled.
All right. I just said that I would like to visit him and my two girls in the astral, please.
No problem. We can help you with that.
Thank you. Before I go, my mom is not feeling too well. I was wondering if you could send some healing.
Very well. We will do so.
Thank you. Take care. I love you so much.
I love you too. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Sarah?
Hello, Tekkrr. Much love to you.
Much love, Sarah.
Yes, I had a couple of questions. Well, I seem to have been visited by two children that I didn't know. I felt like they were mine, but I don't know, like,
Were they
who.
were they both girls?
I have no idea. It's
One
dreams
moment,
a
please.
while ago. Thank you.
How long ago were they visiting?
Maybe in the last month or two.
Have they visited more than once?
No,
Just the one time?
just the
One
one
moment.
time.
𝗂𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐴 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐵 𝗪𝗙𝐴. Yes. I was questioning to see if it was 𝗂𝐻𝐴. 𝗂𝐻𝐴 is one of the names that they were both girls. I suspected they would come to you. They
So
are related to you, but they are not your children. But
oh,
they are related to you in the starseed families. 𝗂𝐻𝐴 is one, and 𝗂𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬 is the other.
oh, how do you spell that?
I would say 𝗂𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐻. 𝗂𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬. That's the pronunciation. I do not know
And
how they spell it on their planet. They are
okay,
both
what is their
Pleiadian
species?
children.
Oh, Pleiadian. Okay. Thank you. And do I have any other children that I don't know about?
No, you are fine.
Okay. Um, Also, can you give me any understanding about moving through the dimensions? I seem to have moved through dimensions with a horse.
What colors
Uh,
do you see?
it was kind of like if I were to draw a picture of a horse, and it was sort of beige white.
Okay. Yes. You see, the different dimensions have colors that are slightly different than the colors that you see on your planet. When you're going through a different dimension, you will see yellows, greens, reds, beiges, things of this nature. And it will be an indicator that you are not in the same dimension when the color of the whole area changes. Do you understand that? So if this was a
Right.
dimensional visit, then the whole dimension will take on a color temporarily until you are totally a part of it.
Well, it wasn't just one dimension. It seems to be like I had one night where I just went and visited like all 12 dimensions.
Oh dear. That is quite a trip.
Right.
I would love to sit and discuss that with you because you probably saw a lot of different things.
I don't know. I just saw myself in some sort of like a tunnel, and a
Yes.
dragon being said it was a wormhole. Uh,
Yes, that's fine.
that's
Um,
fine.
there must have been a reason why you went through that many dimensions. I'm not sure why, but there had to be a reason, and I will find out what it was.
Thank you. That would be perfect.
Yes, because
Um,
going through that many dimensional portals is very unusual.
okay. Wonderful. And I'd like to know, how are the colonies outside of Girk Fitneer? Because I know you guys take great care, but how
They
are the
are fine.
doing with the
Yes,
children? With the children.
the secondary colonies are still working, and they are taking people, but I have no idea of what schedule or who they are taking. I only am aware of our scheduling. But yes, the Kenjin, the Arab colonies are fine and still intact.
Right. Okay. And are all of my infusions done? Completed?
Yes, yours are all done.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the mic.
Very
Christine,
well.
greetings, Tekkrr.
Greetings.
I was wondering if I've received the Yahyel DNA infusion.
Yes, you have. Do you notice that you have a greater clarity of thought?
No.
Well, you do. And also in your work, you have a greater connection with the animals. This is always increasing, but with the Yahyel, it will increase. You will see it even more. So I think that there is a couple particular animals that you do feel the increase with.
Yes, that's very true. Do I need any other infusions to help me along, or in my...
Not at this time. Let's see how this one continues to work. I would like to see the clarity of mind become more apparent.
Okay. And can you send me some healing to my hands, because my arthritis is creeping along?
Very well. There will be an infusion tonight. 𝗂𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿.
You had also mentioned once about getting a galactic language download. Would that help me with learning 3D languages?
Not really, but it would help you with communicating with any beings that come on first contact.
Okay. Much love. Thank you very much, Tekkrr.
I love your birds.
Yeah.
Will?
Well, hello.
Will, we can't hear you.
There is silence.
Yes, we can't hear you. He wanted to know if he had any hybrid children. He had written the question before, so.
Yes, you do have hybrid children, but I thought you were aware of them. Perhaps you're not. You have two, a boy and a girl. One is Pleiadian and one is Yahyel. Their names are Cecil. Interesting. One is named Cecil, and the other one is Best. Any other questions?
He's not typing at the moment, so I assume
He might be away from the mic.
that would satisfy him. If he comes back, I'll let him speak. Tekkrr, I haven't felt lately Leonardo. He used to be around me. Is there a reason for that?
Who do you not feel?
Leonardo, my hybrid child.
Oh. Well, he is being trained, and so he's not around quite as often, but still, you should feel him because he is around. Perhaps he's just a little more subtle energy, or perhaps you're a little more distracted. But I will let him know to give you a greater realization of his presence.
Yes, because he was before, but lately I have not felt him, so I was wondering what had happened. I know
Very well.
He was a bit distracted, so I had to tell him to pay a little more attention. But it seems...
He is learning his lessons very well, but yes, he is easily distracted because he has many different things that he is interested in.
Such as?
Well, he is creative. He likes architecture. He is very intrigued with human architecture and Pleiadian architecture. Also, he likes some forms of math. He is also into engineering with math applications and affixing different kinds of technology.
Okay. Tekkrr, is there a way you could tell me how much of, what percentage of human DNA does he have?
Yes, one moment, please. .1. 21.1% human DNA.
And the rest of it is Lyran?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think Will is back.
Very well.
Thank you, Tekkrr.
You are welcome.
Will, we still don't hear you. So, Dan has one last question?
Yes.
And then we will let you go from there.
Yeah, Tekkrr, I just wanted to request a scan and an infusion for Alex. She's been having a time of it here, and I could use your assistance with her if you are able.
Very well. We will speak later.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. They are calling me away, so I must go.
Yes. Thank you for coming, Tekkrr.
It has been a pleasure. I am glad that I was able to answer so many questions. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.
Namaste, you too.
𝗂𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴. Hello. Hey, how are you?
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hi.
Hi, Jim.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Jim.
Jim, do you need a drink?
Yes, I do.
There you go. Nice drink.
All righty.
So.
All right. Who's going to do some closing blessings?
Okay. Okay.
Alrighty.
I will do one. I will say it in English this time.
All right. Very good.
Today, I wish for all of us to have acceptance in our heart, not only of ourselves, but of our surroundings. That whatever comes to our life, we are able to see how it's serving us. And that if we're not able to see it, to ask for clarity at that moment. And to ask for peace to come into our hearts. For love to come into our hearts. And to have the strength to overcome whatever's happening at that moment. And to love ourselves regardless of what's happening. To accept ourselves as we are at that moment, regardless of how we're feeling at that moment. And to be in joy and peace and harmony with ourselves and with the world at that moment. Namaste.
Amen.
Amen.
Beautiful. Alrighty. It's been a good day. Was it a good session today?
Oh, yes. We were like poof, 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 questions.
Oh, I had wanted to do a blessing too.
So.
Oh, go ahead. We always have room for more blessings.
Yeah. The Nagas.
Oh, the Nagas. We have felt the spirit of Abraham in our world as well, and are thankful for his presence throughout the galaxy. He is a wise and wonderful spirit, and we are doing our best to live by many of his teachings. Today, we just look upon you and love you and connect with you in the sense of community and love, one spirit, one thought process, and one sense of communion that will last for ages to come.
Namaste.
Namaste. All right.
All right. Thank you,
Anybody
everyone.
else? Thanks.
Yeah. Thank
All
you,
right.
everyone.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Please do visit Human Colonies. Please make a donation if you have benefit from this in any way, shape, or form. We wish you the best for the weeks to come.
We have a few announcements.
Oh,
I will be traveling next week, so I won't be here next week, just to let you know.
Yeah, Jim will be gone next week. We'll have somebody else come in. Will has an announcement if his microphone is finally working. Will, can you?
Oh, good.
We shall try.
Yep, it's working.
Yay. Apparently I wasn't supposed to talk about that topic with Tekkrr just yet.
Okay.
So I would like to announce Human Colony Gathering in Hot Springs for the summer solstice, Sunday, June 19th through Wednesday, June 22nd. We're going to be doing meditation, Reiki, healings, past life regressions, channelings, galactic languages, special summer solstice activity, many other things. Sarah is going to be there. Dan's going to be there. Roxy has shown extreme interest. Jim has shown extreme interest.
Yeah.
We're going to get a house and do some awesomeness. Everyone is welcome. The post will be up on Facebook today, and I'll put it up on my Hot Springs, Arkansas. You got it. And my it'll be on my website, so people can start making deposits so that we can actually get that house. It's going to be awesome. Come.
Very cool. Yeah.
Thank you, Will. And everything else just left my brain, I guess. Keep a lookout for other announcements on Google Plus and Human Colonies and Human Colony Ning and Human Colony Facebook, Human Colony everywhere. Thank you.
And Girk Fitneer and
and all of that. Thank you, everybody.